Welcome to the Zadzooks Happy Hour, a podcast exploring the latest in film, TV, games, toys, and more. And now, somewhere in a secret bunker outside of Washington, D.C., here are your hosts, 30-year veteran of pop culture and entertainment news for the Washington Times, Joseph Zadkowski, and pop culture, technology, and space aficionado, Todd Stowell. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm so jealous. You
What?
won't get out of that division game. It's like your second life right now. I wish I could find the time to sit there and band up with you.
It's
You're
so
killing
fun.
it. What level are you at now? 12, 14?
12.
Yeah. Oh,
I leveled up twice during Air and Space,
wow.
which you and I tried to do with
Oh,
two
it was
guys,
ugly.
and we just got wasted. And
We couldn't even get in the building.
no, and I paired up with 3 other people last night, and I completed the thing in 20 minutes. And these guys weren't really any better than I was,
Right.
but they just had the right weaponry, and not a single person had to be revived.
That makes no sense.
I healed myself a couple times and hid behind things, and other guys just went for it, and we cleared it, and then they left, which was a bummer because I was like, oh, let's go do some more damage. These guys are the real deal. But it's so fun.
Exciting.
It's so fun. And I've been by my office now a couple times, my real office.
That's funny.
In the game. It's weird.
You can't actually get into the building,
you
right?
cannot get in the building.
But you can walk by the building.
You can walk by and you can go down into the metro, even though it's locked off.
Right.
But I've also noticed there's a lot of these underground, like you can go down into the sewers and go from point A to point B, and they're just lined with loot.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not very noticeable, which is weird, but you can do it.
I got to believe people are sick of us talking about this game.
Hey, man, you know what?
It's exciting.
People, they invited us to a nice event. The least we could do is play it,
Yeah.
and give an honest opinion of it.
I just hate people. So the problem I got is I get on, and I don't want to team up with anybody.
Yeah,
And then
I
I
know.
die.
I know.
All the time.
Well, I left the White
In
House
minutes.
the other day, and I got just decimated by people right near there. So, you know.
It's these other color guys, the guys with the yellow vests that are killing me. Is that the True
The
Sons?
True Sons.
Oh,
They're hard.
brutal.
Yeah. Yep. I
So-
mean, I really thought I was not going to make it through, and then I was like, oh, man, we actually got inside. And then you start in the sub-basement of Air and Space. You slowly move your way up. I don't even really know what the mission is. They've got some stuff there that you've got to take out, and you just kind of go until eventually you end up on the upper level where the Wright Flyer is and the space shuttle, which
Yep.
would never fit in that building anyway. And then the battle takes place right outside the movie theater in the main entrance,
Yeah,
which is like
I know where that is.
big battle. And at that point, you turn around and realize a bunch of your friends who are just AI, good guys, are in there with you.
Ah.
And they're now helping you take out this last stand to secure the museum.
Right.
And now they're going to run perimeter on the museum for you.
Cool.
So, yeah. I mean, having been there 50 million times, it looks pretty
close?
I mean, outside of the space shuttle,
Right.
yeah. I mean,
They got
you
it.
can't get the signage and everything, but
Right.
and you know, the sub-basement doesn't look anything like it, but there's no Google Street View for that. So
Right. Okay.
Otherwise, pretty close.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So, I'm into it. But I have to believe if you're not from DC, it's not.
It doesn't mean anything.
It's not, you just want to beat the game.
Right.
For me, it's
You wanna
interesting
look around.
because I want to look around
Right.
and see where I'm going next and have I been there before and how familiar does it look. So, yep.
Success.
Mm-hmm. I like it. It's good.
So what did you tell me Ant-Man was doing now? which sounds akin to using, and if they ever did do something like that, it would be one of those, there's no way to go back. Like using light speed to destroy in Star Wars, to take like a ship and light speed through a dreadnought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you think of it before?
So
like,
this has been going around all day today. I've been getting push notifications with this. This is from Vox. The Avengers Endgame theory is that Ant-Man kills Thanos by expanding inside his butt. It's a fan theory that even Josh Brolin got in on. And he's sitting on the toilet. Remember that video that he did where he looks like he's like flexing and instead he's sitting, looks like he's trying to go poo?
Yeah.
Well, he posted it and he was like, for all of you Endgame fans who think the Ant-Man theory is the real deal, ... And then it shows him pooping.
Okay.
So he's aware of it. And
well, why couldn't Ant-Man just crawl into Thanos' ear and expand and blow his head off?
Someone said something that like Bruce Banner could put the suit on and then the Hulk could, what was they say? Like he could smash kidney stones instead of, it's just, they're basically saying that the reason that Ant-Man wasn't in the first movie is because he has such an impact in the second movie because he can miniaturize and then expand. Which, I mean, it's not a
crazy theory.
Even the Russo brothers like changed their Instagram avatar and it looked like a butt cheeks with a little Ant-Man in the middle.
Oh my God.
So I mean, hey, you know what? It's a weird theory, but obviously people are picking up on it.
Right. There's no way that happens in the movie, but it's B-U-T-T.
I mean,
it's interesting.
They still have to speak to the fact of like how are they bringing everybody back?
Right.
And I would imagine it's the
time stone.
It's the time stone. But the only person that knew how to use the time stone, I thought, was Doctor Strange.
Well, he's around.
No.
Oh, he died?
Remember, he sacrificed himself.
Oh.
Remember, I
don't remember. I got to watch this movie again.
He's on the planet with Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And he says,
it's
the only inevitability. This is the only way. This is the only outcome.
Okay.
That out of the, what was it, like 114 million different possible outcomes, this is the only way. So he's not there.
Okay.
I mean, this movie's out in what? Is it April or May?
May. Isn't it like the first week of May?
I thought so.
3 hours. It's Gandhi.
Yeah, it's 182 minutes. That's what so that came out and that was immediately pulled because I think one of the movie theaters posted like pre-sale tickets or something, and they pulled it.
Well, who cares if they tell people how long the movie is?
If it's 3
does that mean anything?
Hours,
great.
Then who are they sending off? Because they're clearly killing somebody off,
right,
permanently.
Like Walking Dead killing off.
I gotta believe it's Captain America.
Did you read the all nonsense about the latest Walking Dead and who they wiped out again?
Who'd they wipe out?
Tara.
Yeah.
And Enid. And Henry. Enid was kind of like falling in love with Carl.
Uh-huh.
And Tara had been there a while.
Yeah.
And then Henry was like the adopted son of Carol and the king.
Right.
And he's gone. And they were basically, their heads were cut off and put on spikes. By the Whisperers.
I thought the Whisperers were gone.
No, they're still around.
Ugh.
I'm sorry. Not only did I just blow a bunch of spoilers, but you could care less. So
no, I'm done with it.
I'm completely done with it. I just happened to watch a YouTube video last night at 3:30 in the morning, and it showed what happened. And I was like, oh, great, killing more characters.
And what's Negan doing? He's roaming around, right?
No, he came back, and they put him back in his cell. So they're totally wasting this character.
So who are the main characters now? Daryl and Carol?
Daryl, Carol, Michonne, and the King.
And that's it?
I think so.
Jeez.
And they renewed for a 10th season.
Ugh. They should have done like Game of Thrones, man, and just wrapped it up.
It's never going to end.
It's like the Oscars when the light is flashing. Wrap it up, guys.
That's right. They don't understand.
Well, isn't there another sequel or spinoff coming?
That's what I heard.
There's another one.
Right.
Ugh.
All right. Sorry about that.
All right. You want to talk Bumblebee?
Sure. A little bit.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
I did. I watched the whole thing.
What'd you think of it?
It was awesome.
I liked it.
It was much better than these other crazy, clanky Transformers movies.
I liked the fact that it took place in the 80s.
Why? Everything takes place in the 80s now.
No, it just had a different feel to it.
But it was cool that it was.
Yeah.
It's basically an origin story.
Yeah, so I forget. So first, Bumblebee is like a Hummer, right? Like he's a Humvee. Like, what's the first vehicle that, like, when they're on
Cybertron?
Cybertron? He's like a vehicle.
I don't remember. Isn't that amazing?
And then he escapes, and then I think when he comes to Earth,
he finds a Volkswagen.
well, first he turns into, you remember, he's chased because he lands where the military is.
Right.
He's a Jeep.
Oh, right.
And then he turns into an old VW.
Yeah.
Bug, and then eventually like a Chevy Camaro.
The Camaro,
right? And the end scene is him and Optimus Prime.
Right.
The
leader of the Autobots.
The 18-wheeler.
Yeah.
Right. This movie has John Cena and Hailee
Steinfeld.
Hailee Steinfeld, or I don't know. I can never pronounce her last name correctly for some reason.
What has she been in?
A lot of things that we've seen before.
Huh.
It's basically she's the main character.
Yes.
And there are two Decepticons who are trying to hunt down Bumblebee, who during this...
One is voiced by Angela Bassett. Did
right.
you know that?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Who can no longer speak. His voice box was ripped out
by one of the Decepticons.
And he lost his memory.
Yes.
So he doesn't really know anything. And at the very beginning, he's kind of like a terrified cat.
Yeah.
When the main character discovers him, and her name is Charlie
Wilson.
Thank you. It's a nice, tight
human
story.
Yeah. Mixed with Transformers
and a little bit of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Just that feel to it, like the kind of goofy things. Like the funniest scene is Bumblebee in the house destroying everything.
Yeah.
But the transformation, the CGI, and all that stuff looked
top
good.
Notch.
Looked good.
Oh yeah, Michael Bay produced.
It wasn't a Michael Bay
Directed, over the top,
like just insane battle.
Right.
It was a 2 against 1. Well, with John Cena sort of on the side.
Yeah.
And he's, the funny thing is he's not really a bad guy, even though he comes across as one.
Right. He's a misunderstood bad guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't quite know what's going on.
But it's a relatively small cast.
Yep.
The expression and the CGI expression that they gave to Bumblebee was really nice.
Yep.
You definitely saw the character as a very young Autobot.
Yep.
Going along with the 18-year-old Charlie, who it's her first car.
Right. She's got issues.
She's got
her father died.
Her father died. And it was just a nice...
He just doesn't fit in.
It was just a standalone film that there's no need for a sequel to it, although I know that they're doing another Bumblebee film.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They already announced that. But I don't think it like, that story's over. Like, you're not going to see her come back. If they do, then it's a mistake. So, yeah, it's just a really different take on what has become sort of a very fatigued franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Like, people are kind of bored with it.
Bombastic and just over the top, like, dull the senses.
And the thing is that my kids, when they played with Transformers, they gravitated towards Bumblebee. More than anything.
Yeah.
More than Optimus Prime.
They're cool.
Right.
Bumblebee's cool.
Bumblebee's cool. And Bumblebee's a young, sort of afraid...
Right.
And uses a AM/FM radio to communicate.
Which is awesome.
And the soundtrack...
is all 80s.
Is all 80s.
If you're a Smiths fan, you're thrilled.
You're thrilled. Yep. And it's just... I don't know. It was just a very solid movie. It got like a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I see why.
Yeah.
It's a very original film, and it's not... I mean, yeah, there's like the shooting and blowing up stuff, and people are a little annoyed by that. I didn't care. I thought it was the right flavor.
Yeah.
The whole thing just worked. So I was happy with it.
I was too.
Did you watch any special features?
Not yet.
Yeah,
I'm
me
doing
neither.
it tonight.
Yeah. But
there's a comic book with the package.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think it's like an introduction of a little more on the Cena character, but I'll let you know.
Oh, interesting.
But we'll see.
So, yeah, I thought it was really, I mean, again, it's a very small cast. I want to say maybe like 10 or 12.
It all worked. It's like a family movie again.
Yeah, it's like a 10.
You know?
Yeah, it was great. It just worked. And
so really go see it.
Yeah, and how they managed to like when they're on the beach and she's trying to teach him to hide and like sand gets thrown at her.
Yeah.
Or like he's in the house and he hits his head on the lamp and the lamp sways.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody's got to knock that stuff.
Yeah, I want to see how they did that.
Post-production, they've got to remove it and put Bumblebee in its place.
Yep.
It just looked great. There was no flaw in it. It just worked, and it wasn't all over the place, and it wasn't everyone was bleeding, and like Mark Wahlberg wasn't running around.
Massive battle scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, the opening's a little frenetic, but I'm okay with that because it leads up to what's going to happen, which is fine.
And it opened, and I think that was one other complaint that I saw was that people felt like it opened just like snap, you're into it. You know what I mean? There was no like gradual. Here's what's going on. There's a battle on Cybertron. And it's bad,
right?
And they're evacuating,
right?
And so that's the beginnings of eventually where you get to, I guess,
Planet Earth,
the fourth one, which is this. They consider the fifth Transformers film, but I still think it's a standalone. So I don't know. I give it a nice solid A. It's a good film.
Yep, I give it based on other Transformers films an A-. Based on everything I see, maybe a B+.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, it's a good family film. Like, your kids can watch it. It's not terribly scary.
Did your kids watch Spider-Verse?
They did.
And?
They loved it.
Okay, good.
They watched it with one of their friends, and they couldn't get over it.
Excellent.
And apparently they'd been listening to the soundtrack well before they watched it, so they kept pointing out all the songs. They're like, oh, this is such and such by such and such. I'm like, can you just please shut up and watch the movie? Because I'd like to watch the movie.
Good.
So, no, it was good. So there's your, parental guidance review for the week.
Yes. Two great films.
You can let your kids go watch them, and they're good. So
okay.
All right, we'll come back. You're going to talk about the Mule.
I want to talk about Aquaman, but for some reason you refuse to watch it.
I do, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
All right.
I'll go with that.
Communities Digital News, built by the writers and editors that deliver the news 24 hours a day. Visit comdiginews.com. That's COMMDIGI news.com. And support the next evolution in news.
I can't watch Aquaman for the fact that Aquaman just is not a terribly big character to me. Was not like an important character for me in the comics, in my childhood.
But he's awesome in this movie. This Jason Momoa guy is amazing in this movie.
But you know what? He wasn't awesome in Justice League.
Well, it's not his fault. He was put in a bad situation.
And you told me it's really long.
It's really long. It's 143 minutes.
Yeah, see, I can't sit through it. And you know what? I don't care that much about DC anymore.
Okay, that hurts.
That's
rough.
They have ruined everything.
But you'll watch Wonder Woman 1984 or whatever.
Yeah, because at least that's like a female director with a different set of ideas, and she's got like the. I mean, let's just think about it. Justice League was abysmal. Batman versus Superman, awful.
Right.
What was Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad.
Not great.
Nope.
Green Lantern, not great. The first Superman movie, Dawn of Justice, not great.
Right.
Like, well, I mean, Gotham is really good.
Yeah, it is.
But
it's really good.
It's a TV show.
Yeah.
I think WB has got to stick to the TV because they're good at it.
Right.
The film, I don't know what to do. Part of it is they cannot ever live up to the expectations of the Dark Knight trilogy. They can't.
Well, this is nowhere near that dark or ever was going to be.
But that's what Batman is.
Right.
It's dark.
I understand, but Aquaman's not.
I know, and it's just, I don't know.
The movie made like $1 billion.
I know, and I like Jason Momoa, but I just don't want to be disappointed by another DC movie.
Okay.
And with it being as long as it is, I can't speak for everyone, but I know there are other people like me who are like, DC just, it's not working. They gotta rethink it, because the inconsistencies are just so bad that if this movie's okay, then the next movie will just be horrendous.
Right.
So.
Well, the next movie's Wonder Woman, so it'll be okay. Is that right?
Hopefully.
No, Shazam is the next movie.
Yeah, and
here it comes.
I'm kind of
backtracking.
Excited. I'm kind of excited for that movie.
You're out of your mind.
But I think it's going to flop.
Really?
It's
getting great reviews.
I like Zachary Levi.
Right.
The dude is owed. He did that show Chuck, and then got thrown away and didn't do anything for a long time.
It's a bad agent.
And who knows? I mean, he still plays a nerd, right? I mean, isn't Shazam kind of like a dorky superhero?
Yeah.
But again, it's not the DC comic sphere. It's like kind of its own thing. You know, they're going to do their own. They're just, I don't know. Marvel just can do no wrong.
Nope.
Even with their terrible movies, they're still good movies. You know what I mean? They're like, all right, I watched it. It was a B+.
I completely agree, but I'm just telling you, if I wouldn't sit in a theater and watch this movie again, but hanging out in my living room, in an entertainment room, it's worth watching. It's worth watching.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Fair enough. So what's it about?
Aquaman?
A guy who lives underwater, talks to fishes?
It's the origin of Aquaman. And he's a boy born between the Queen of Atlantis, played by Nicole Kidman, who's awesome, and a lighthouse keeper. And you know who the lighthouse keeper is? Jango Fett, the guy who created all the clones. The guy who was the template for all the clones.
Interesting.
So I thought that was really cool.
Then that's why you love this so much.
Yes. And there's a bad guy in it who's his half-brother, who's played by Patrick Wilson, which I'm not thrilled about because it's really hard to make Patrick Wilson a bad guy. You know what I mean? He's just a nice guy. He was in Watchmen as the owl.
The night owl.
The night owl. He was in the he was a paranormal investigator in those other Insidious or whatever which one it was. I can't remember.
And to go off, I'm going to take a slight tangent here. The Watchmen, that got a lot of crap. Go back and watch it. It's all right.
And it's just all right, okay?
I don't know how you could ever take that graphic novel.
You couldn't.
No.
You couldn't.
I know. But he's good. He is great in it, in Watchmen.
Yes.
I'm not saying that everyone is good in it, but he's good in it.
And there's other guys in there like Dolph Lundgren as a king, which is fun. Maybe I just like the movie because
and Dolph Lundgren,
maybe
man.
it's just because there's so many connections in the movie.
He's been showing up in a lot of things lately. He's having a career renaissance.
Willem Dafoe's in it.
Well, yeah, I mean, what is he not in these days?
Amber Heard, who I like.
Johnny Depp's ex-wife.
Really? And the bad guy is Black Manta, who is one of Aquaman's main major villains.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, the reason I like it so much is it's obvious that this guy, he's like Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man. He's the perfect casting for Aquaman, and it shows.
Well, have you seen his interviews that he does on talk shows? He's loud.
Yeah.
He's sort of scary. I know he terrifies Jimmy Fallon.
Infectious smile, hearty laugh.
Yep.
Tattooed, burly physique.
Yep.
Love of life.
I mean,
he's perfect.
He'll play it, but again, it's so disjointed.
And the underwater scenes are unbelievable.
Is it better on your 4K at home than in the theater?
My goodness. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And they give you the IMAX.
Oh, was the whole thing shot in IMAX?
No.
Parts of it?
About probably 85% of it. So they pop it open for you, and it looks amazing. And by the way, Bumblebee is a full screen presentation too, which makes the movie look even better.
Oh, it looked beautiful.
So anyway, thumbs up for Aquaman, whether you like it or not.
So what are you giving it?
I'll give it like a B+.
All that for a B+?
Yeah, well, it's not. There's no way it's an A+.
Okay.
It's a B+.
All right. And then you're going to go from the...
But I gave Bumblebee a B+.
Yeah, well, I gave that an A-. And so you're going to go from the burly, tattooed guy to the old, craggly guy who sat on the stage and talked to an empty chair and is completely out of his mind.
He is one of America's most beloved directors.
Oh,
Clint
beloved directors?
Eastwood, actor, and he looks mummified. I don't know how this guy he's 88 years old, and he did a great job in this movie.
What was the movie that he did? What was the last movie that he did where he's, it's like telling the kids to stay off his lawn? Gran Turismo, right?
This is almost an extension. It's like it would be that guy's wackier brother.
Right.
Walt Kowalski's wackier brother.
He plays such an angry old man.
Oh yeah. The dirty hairy lip flare is still there.
Of course it is.
It's
and he I know I have read enough to know that it's really difficult to direct, let alone direct and act and have to deal with everyone else's performance in it. And he's done that repeatedly. Right.
Bradley Cooper's in it. The scenes between those two, maybe one, great. So much fun to watch. By the way, so the film's about a guy, an old man who is really down on his luck and estranged from his family, who gets hooked up with a Mexican cartel or Colombian cartel and starts drug running for them. He really doesn't even understand what's going on the first couple of runs, and then they just keep giving him these envelopes stuffed with cash. So all of a sudden, he buys everything, and he buys his family back, basically, on top of it. And it's a film about him just getting back in the real world, but things aren't going to go well. They can't go well. Like he's a drug runner.
It's like the if Walter White was Clint Eastwood.
That's correct.
Right. An older Walter White.
So I'm just not. That's all I'm going to say. But it's really well acted, as I would expect.
Of course.
It's impeccably shot. I mean, you're engaged the entire movie. And you feel for the guy, even though he's a bit of a racist, a bit of a misogynist. I mean, one of the first things he does with a big stash of money is he's got some prostitutes. This is an 88-year-old guy.
Good for him. But that's
different.
The thing. He's been in films how long now? I mean, 60, 70 years maybe.
Yeah.
He might have even been when he was like 18.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got an eye. Like, you go back and you look at $1 Million Baby and the way he filmed that and the way he shot that. And then you look at the other films that he's done. He's got a very unique style that kind of carries across all of his films, both in the cinematography that he's looking for and sort of the lighting and the feel and the vibe.
Right.
And you don't really think of him as Clint Eastwood when he's in these movies. You think of a guy and you relate to him.
That's absolutely correct. He's a bit of a sad sack in this movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just like you go, oh, man, that's terrible. I can't believe that. And yet he manages to really mess himself up because he's doing something really stupid. By the way, it's based on a real story.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Is the guy still alive?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
So this is a solid A- for me.
Good.
It's really well made.
Good.
Maybe someday you'll watch it. Probably not.
Honestly, I didn't even realize it came out yet.
I think it comes out on Tuesday.
Okay, then that's probably why.
Anyway, what else? Are we done?
Opening
a baseball season?
Yeah.
Anybody care? Nobody cares.
I watched the first game, and that'll be about it till the postseason. So box office.
Are you even a baseball fan?
Yeah, I'm a Yankees fan. I mean, that's very much against my father, but who's a Red Sox fan. But
oh my goodness!
Oh, it's bad.
I can't believe he's letting you get away with that.
Oh, he hates it. But I've always been a Yankee fan. Always.
Why? Can I ask?
I have no idea.
What caught you up in their sphere?
They weren't even a winning team when I was a kid. Yes,
well, they were always a winning team.
Always a winning team, but like when I grew up, they weren't winning World Series. at all.
I got a quiz on nicknames for Major League Baseball players. You want a quick couple?
Yeah, but I probably won't get very many of them.
The Great Bambino.
Babe Ruth.
Okay. That's correct. We'll do 10. Mr. Baseball.
Mr. Baseball.
Now, I can give you choices if you want.
Yeah, give me choices.
Ernie Banks, Lou Boudreau, Bob Uecker, Pete Rose.
Pete Rose.
Bob Uecker.
Okay, well.
And that was almost a joke because he was that guy on the Carson show all the time.
I know.
The Iron Horse. Mel Ott, Ted Williams, Cal Ripken Jr., Lou Gehrig.
Well, he's the
How?
Cal Ripken's the Iron Man. I guess it could be Cal Ripken.
How can you be a Yankees fan and not know that Lou Gehrig is the Iron Horse?
Sorry, I didn't even hear Lou Gehrig. I stopped at Cal Ripken.
Okay, well.
I didn't even hear that the fourth choice.
The Georgia Peach.
Keep
Honus
going.
Wagner, Billy Hamilton, Ty Cobb, Johnny Mize.
Ty Cobb.
There you go. We'll do 2 more. The Sandman. If you don't
Mariano
get this,
Rivera.
thank you. The Say Hey Kid. Willie Tavares, Willie McGee, Willie McCovey, Willie Mays.
Willie Mays.
Yep. All right, last one. I can get past these annoying ads. The Big Hurt. That's in my part of town.
Okay.
Dave Kingman, Dave Winfield, Frank Thomas, Rod Carew.
Frank Thomas.
That's right. That wasn't bad.
Okay.
You did okay there. All right,
Yeah.
box office. Sorry to interrupt, but
All
it was
right.
baseball season.
Jordan Peele's Us with a whopping $115 million in its first weekend.
He's amazing.
So I know the whole premise of the movie, know how it ends, know all that stuff.
Well, that's sad.
And
What is your obsession with learning
no,
stuff?
I wanted to do research on this because I'm obviously not going to be able to go to the theater with 3 kids and be able to watch it.
But you can go.
I hate going to the movies by myself.
Well, go with.
Yeah.
I have a friend. We have a friend, a mutual friend, who has one of those passes.
Who's that?
You know,
Oh.
I'm not going to bring him up.
Oh, okay.
He'll go with you.
At any rate, so Jordan Peele has become the master of telling long-form Twilight Zones.
Yes.
And this is another one. And it's very cool. You're going to really enjoy it. People are,
So you're giving me a review of a film you've never seen.
No, I'm just saying.
reading a plot synopsis.
I'm just saying that I think it will be something different for you. The only complaint that people have had is that they felt like there were holes in the story where things were introduced and never completed. But that happens a lot in horror.
Yeah, of course
So
it does.
I don't know that that's necessarily a negative. But I think when we go to screen it, we will enjoy it.
Fair enough.
And that made a lot of money. Knocked Captain Marvel off.
Right.
And Dumbo is opening this weekend with abysmal reviews.
They need to stop.
And it made $7.5 million.
Not every cartoon needs to be a live-action movie.
Well, isn't this a Tim Burton
yeah.
imagining, which is sort of surprising?
Yep.
But then again...
But now we're looking forward to The Lion King and Aladdin.
What are they going to do, like the cartoon version of the Avengers? They're going to have to flip it, right?
Right.
Or well, now, I guess, Avengers, it could be all Disney characters.
Well, because Into the Spider-Verse, that opens up any Marvel characters for animation.
And Into the Spider-Verse definitely opened up the sequel that Gwen Stacy...
Right.
The whatever version... Spider-Woman, runs into Spider-Man...
Right.
At the very, very end of it. So that's wide open.
Right.
And Disney has claimed that all of their R-rated properties will remain R-rated. They're not going to mess with that formula. So apparently
Deadpool is alive.
Good to go. And I got to believe, I know they want to do another R-rated X-Men because of the success of Logan.
Right.
So, we'll see. But I can't really think of who else they're going to introduce for new Marvel characters. I mean,
Howard the Duck.
Well, he was in.
I know
Guardians,
but he wasn't in. He didn't have his own movie.
There was a movie at one point, wasn't there?
Yeah, but we don't need to talk about that.
I
That was
know.
George Lucas. A nightmare for George Lucas.
Who was in that?
I don't know.
Was Jason Alexander in that?
Oh God, I hope not.
Maybe
Really? I'm not looking this.
Maybe
on
I'm
here.
just thinking that he was, but I just remember it's like one of the biggest joke films ever, right? I mean, like
Yeah, but this was like a late mid '80s movie, right?
when George Lucas was like, "Oh, I can be a director doing other things besides
Leah
Star
Thompson, Tim Robbins,
Wars." Okay.
Thomas Dolby. I don't know why. No, this is not a critically acclaimed film.
No,
And it was a pretty big bomb at the box office.
Yep, it was.
So anyway.
Yeah, all right. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
I'm tapped out.
That's a big show.
I know.
I'm exhausted.
I'm gonna go
take a nap.
I'm gonna go play some Division.
Oh, good for you.
Yep.
I'm watching Stan and Ollie.
Okay.
'Cause I'm very excited about that.
Really?
Oh yeah. I like the Riley guy.
John C. Reilly?
Yeah.
I love John C. Reilly, but
Well-
I don't think it did very well. I don't think it was a very good movie.
I think it was critically acclaimed.
Was it?
Whatever. I don't know.
We try to be objective here.
Yeah.
So let me know
Well,
if it's good.
I will let you know if it's good.
I
It'll be
will-
another movie you'll never see.
I'll watch it. I mean, if you can get me the film in time,
Yeah.
I will watch it.
Okay.
So, all right.
See ya.